Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, a pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue unpacking some water or washing related character. And this time we pair water symbol with 条. That means a long, branch or twig, long one. Because 条 means long strip of things. We use that as a measurement of unit. To say 一条, 金条, like a gold strip. So it's the, standard gold storage shape in that long strip of gold. So we can use that. Or 一条鱼, one long strip of fish. So the flat and the longer direction fish shape, so we can use that as 条. Or 一条船, we can use a boat to use it to count boat. So that's 条. And together, it's pronounced as 迪, not sound like 条. Maybe a little bit, but okay, 迪. You see traditional and simplified. This is traditional, which is more traditional, more complicated. Looks very different versus 2,000 years ago, probably is closer to traditional Chinese with the simplification of here, this part. So, okay, so many visual elements that let me try to unpack. The left one is water symbol, right? We use 5 strokes in ancient times to describe water in nature. That got a main uninterrupted stream in the middle, and then the side close to the bank where water are more turbulent, more bi-directional instead of one direction, and probably slower and interrupted by stuff along the water bank. So that's water, and contemporary simply use 3 dots. And we're so conditioned to look at these dots as water. Like this shapes, these 3 dots, even if it's a simplified version of water, still looks just like water, like a splash of water. And it's easy to remember, easy to write. Okay, the middle part here is a human figure, side view. And we can see traditional kept it. Simplified removed it. Okay, so this profile view human, simply the front part of the body, back part of the body, the back part wrap around, and the human figure specifically facing toward the left because that's the default forward going direction. And I had a theory of this Chinese language birthplace is in north to a river, a Yellow River, and the Yellow River flowing from the high ground of Tibet to Pacific. And from the north side of that river, your viewpoint would be the water flowing from the right side to the left. So left flowing becomes forward flowing in the consciousness of Chinese. Okay, that's human figure in the middle. Then here, the right side, the 3-finger hand symbol. And this vertical line attached with 1 horizontal line was said to be an ancient fortune-telling tool that could be in a type of plant that you just peel off and, yes and no game. So Chinese pair this fortune-telling tool with 3-finger means this hand holding a type of tool, not necessarily fortune-telling. But fortune-telling probably is where it got started, and people used to see that. And eventually we have new scenarios to apply to. So this pu is how it's pronounced. We don't use it by itself. It's always like a part of the storytelling to create a more complicated figure or character. Here, this one vertical line is a streamlined and super stripped down water symbol. I mean, this is one scholar, Xu Shen's idea. It may or may not be true, but this one single vertical line is next to the human figure. So this human, water simplified, hand-holding tool together, made of Chinese character you means take your time, continuous. So it's a kind of slow motion. When we think about a you, it's really the anti-rush, anti-busyness. It's really taking your time. But what's described in there is this human next to the water, hand holding a stick, wading through water. And I'm not sure if it waded through water. I did. I super took my time wading through water. Don't want to, fall. Don't want to get drowned in water. It's a flowing water, even if it's not that deep, but it could get slippery, right? So without a hand holding anything to help me, but I would imagine ancient times when you do have no choice but wading through water, you probably want to hold on to something. And that the whole thing means taking your time, slow and continuous and steady, like continuous water, because you're walking through not a tiny poodle, it's a not dead, but a static pool of water. But you're walking down the stream, which is a continuous. And so you have to stay alert on that one. So that paired with the word symbol means the word branch, kind of long, continuous, like water, non-stoppable. So together, the right side becomes this long strip of wood. It's not from the trunk, but from more, I guess, what do you call this? Flexible part of the tree. Picture long, almost like a vein in my mind. It got a flexibility in there. It's not stiff. It's not even like a big trunk, a big branch, but it's long, continuous, growing, and in the shape of a long form. All right, that's my best. Okay, that whole thing, let's say it's, I guess, not a willow branch, because willow is not strong enough for this case. When it paired with water, it described a particular kind of place and work for ancient animal sacrifice. That is a fascinating place. Like ancient times, sacrifice became ritualized and institutionalized, like a government. Back then, the ancient rulers would build a place for animal sacrifice and have a whole system to maintain the cleanliness, the hygiene after the animal sacrifice. So this particular D is the scrubbing of the stony floor after the animal sacrifice left the place. And you can see that place would be used as to clean the animal. And after the killing, probably blood around. So you have to scrub really hard to remove the blood stains there. And because it's animal sacrifice, it's like your house to talk to the divinity. And so everything in that place got to keep to the upper optimal cleanliness to show your sincerity as humans to bargain with the divine, right? Okay, so then I'm pasting something. Probably it's too small to read. I was chatting with AI about why this long strand from a tree, likely some sort of branch or twig, would be able to become a scrub, because to me, a scrubbing the motion got call for a shorter thing. If it's long, it seems like not stiff enough to scrub. So here is AI's visual explanation of, okay, the contemporary broom is fanning out like a funnel shape. And each branch is kind of long and I guess flexible enough to adapt to different like corners or the edges of the wall, things like that. So it got a certain flexibility, as wispy describes. Versus the ancient brush, it's kind of a scrub brush hybrid. It does have handle, but it has this rope, a binding thing, a kind of a cluster, all the twigs together. And then most importantly, the tip of these otherwise willowy twigs got trimmed, shortened. So it comes with a hard abrasive surface. So you can use that as bristles on your scrub. So that's the AI rendering of the shape of the ancient brush to clean the animal sacrifice house. All right, so examples. 涤纶. Well, when we talk about the scrub, and then we have 纶 as type of fabric. 涤纶 is a Chinese translation of polyester, actually. And probably this term, because polyester was the invention after Industrial Revolution, right? So it definitely came from the West. The translation of polyester, this man-made fiber, probably described the process when the fiber was created. And I took textile class before, so to my remaining memory, 涤纶, the polyester fiber creation would take some like a spirit. I don't even get a vocabulary fixed for that. So it's almost like spinning out of the long fibers when it was liquid form, and then it quickly becomes solidified to create the fiber long strand, right? And somewhere along the line probably involves the scrubbing. Or 涤纶 is another way of interpreting that translation is this is a type of fabric you don't really need to take good care as much as cotton, silk, linen. Like 涤纶 polyester is easy to care for. Well, it does have this shrinking, bleeding issues as man-made fiber, but for like you can be rough with it. So I guess that's the scrub type of fabric. I mean 涤纶. Okay, 洗涤, wash your foot, right? Feet washing. And 涤 is this scrubbing. So 洗 and 涤 paired together actually talks about dishwashing. So you're washing, you need to scrub it and also wash it as if you're washing your foot, meaning you probably need to sink it and to at least shower it. So that's probably two type of washing motion that applied onto dishes. 涤荡. Okay, 涤 is scrubbing, right? And 荡 is 荡 actually at the bottom. This is a modern re-rendering of what this is about. It used to be the top is 汤, this soup put in a container, and the top grass symbol has no place in there. But somehow along the way, this container, which we saw before in a few episodes ago, almost like a glass symbol. It's a container, right? So from the side view, you can see it's a bowl shape and with the soup in it. And so 涤荡 actually gives you the sense of you not only scrub it, but you rinse it, that you're going to swirl the water inside that container to do this motion. So it's another dishwashing technique. But oftentimes we use 涤荡 to more on a metaphor form to show that you're really cleaning something hard. You're going to scrub it and also with water, kind of like a motion washing something so that make sure it's clean. So it's not just dishwashing. It could be washing your ideas, washing your thoughts, washing off your not so bright thinking. Okay, so here I'm showing the scrubbing, contemporary scrubbing and washing. So this is definitely 洗涤 and 涤. Thank you for your time. See you another day.